this replay back, because some of you are in the middle of working, some of you are in the middle of coming home, some of you want to make sure you go over and you don't miss it. This plan of action is designed so you can have the exact information on the motion, because the motion is what is needed to address the issues so that you can go before the court. Okay, and you're going to see a referee, not a judge. That's the first thing. You're going to see a referee and not a judge. So that's what we're going to be working on today. And what I mean by that referee is that referee is the person is going to be just like that. It's just going to be a referee. It's going to be a referee. It's not going to be a judge that can make a final decision. However, if they make a decision in your favor, we're already one step ahead. We're one step ahead. So what we want to do is make sure the presentation is tight. So therefore, they won't basically, question you too hard, and you have all the work done. The key thing about going to court, guys, is having the work done beforehand. Okay, that's going to be the key thing, is having the work done, having what you're going to say when you get in front of them, or you go on this Zoom meeting, if they still have Zoom at that time, you'll know exactly what needs to be said according to your situation. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through this presentation. It's the interim presentation, and you see it on your screen here. And we're going to go through this process, so therefore you understand exactly what's going on. So you're going to be creating a plan of action today. Okay, this is our plan of action webinar. And the purpose of it is who do I need to contact? What do I need to do? Why do I need to do it? Where do I need to go? And how do I get it done? And how I file with the friend of the court. Okay, so a lot of this work has already been done. That's why we made sure that you had the most important questions answered. We gave you that information, a few days after you paid your registration fee. So with that, the definition of what this is all about today is our program is about the POA, which is what we call the Plan of Action Assessment session. Okay, so I'm actually going to provide this information. We're going to capture some detailed information, which, by the way, was based off of the most important questions, which you guys have answered for me. Thank you. Thank you so much. And also the information is going to be shared with you, which is going to be the required motions. You'll know which motions you need to file. I talked to someone earlier today that registered, and they mentioned that the friend of the court sent them out the motion papers for their case. However, today we're going to find out if that's the right motion. Now, who do you need to contact? You guys already have that information, which you've already did it, okay? And that's that toll-free number here, the 877-543-2660. And you ask the most important questions, which is part of this process as well. The first thing you need to find out is, do I have a bench warrant? You got to know if you got a bench warrant, because you don't want to go to court and you got a bench warrant and they serve the bench warrant on you, and then you get locked up. Okay, that has happened. Okay, and sometimes they don't lock you up, but however, you want to make sure. So you ask the question, do I have a bench warrant? And number one reason why you got a bench warrant, and this has happened to even my guys who've been in prison. You'll be locked up and they send out a bench warrant because of show cause. You didn't come to the show cause hearing, but it's like, I'm locked up. I couldn't come to the hearing. That's why you need to know when. It says here, do I have a bench warrant? If so, when was it issued and why? When was it issued and why? So, and then you want to know the mother's name on the case, because it could be for the new woman that you got or the old woman that you had. Okay, so, or man, basically that you had, meaning that sometimes I do have some women as well. And the court has sent out a bench or show cause to show why you were not paying child support. And if you don't show up, they can basically send out a bench warrant. A lot of you have done this work already. You found out what is the total back child support amount on the case, the total, okay? The total, not the part that's broken down. However, you still need to know how much is the money owed to the mother, how much is owed to child care, how much is owed in child support, arrears, you wanna know. You also wanna know how much is owed to the mother, the state, and medical, okay? Medical is sometimes when a child is born, there's an expense for the birth of that child. It's a birthing expense. However, sometimes that is done through the state. And sometimes you may have been working and your child was born under your health insurance. So therefore, if they have birthing expenses on there, they shouldn't have it on there because you have paid it already. But sometimes you guys don't know that you did it because it's so old. So you want to make sure you find that information out. And then you want to know if you have a minor child, this is only for minor children, how much is your monthly child support amount? That's going to also give us a clue on what you're being charged, especially if your job is you're not getting paid the same amount that you used to be paid and they still charging $500. Well, you might even qualify for it to be $300, $200. So that's important to find that out. Also, the monthly arrears payment. Did you know that monthly arrears payments, if your child support per month is $300, they can charge you up to $300 additional for arrears. And guys, that is what's making our arrears go so far in the hole because they're asking for $600 out of a check per month and you're not even working. So now you're going in the hole every month, not the total $600. It'll be the $300 that's going in the hole. So you're kind of being charged double, okay? They can do it by law. However, that's when you should know that you're going to get it modified to get it reduced to a payment that you can pay. And you guys remember the statement that I had in the informational webinar that we had a few weeks ago, where you asked a friend of the court, please charge me according to my current ability to pay. According to my current ability to pay. According to my current ability to pay. I said it only to repeat it so that you can take notes. Now, this is a kicker. All of you that's on this call right now, by basically looking at your information that you already sent to us before today, you may qualify for these surcharges to be waived, especially if your case was back in the 90s or it was before 2005. So here it says here that you asked a friend of the court, and this is why some of you guys are probably still waiting on this. Please send me a payment history from the beginning to the present day, meaning that from the beginning of my case to the present day, because it's going to have all those surcharges on it. You don't want a payment history that's starting from January of this current year. If your case started in 2001, you want a case payment history from 2001. So you can see everything that you've been charged, because on this call, we're able to see what they've been charging you. And matter of fact, if you don't have it, we still can ask for the surcharges to be waived, okay? I'm gonna make this real easy for you guys. That's part of the motion of the plan of action today. So this verbiage in yellow, where it says 4% surcharges that was charged or added to your payment history for every January 1st and July 1st, starting from 2000, well, it can go all the way back to 1990s, but they won't give you that information because their system don't go back that far. So you can ask for that money to go to get surcharges to be waived, okay, from every January and July, all the way up until July, I think, yeah, it's July 2009, okay? So you see that January 2005 through July 2009, that bulk of that money is something that you ask to get reduced. Take notes on that. We're going to come back to that. Now, what do you need to do to resolve your problem with the friend of the court? Well, you must contact the mother if you can. She might be interested in waiving some of that debt. Now, I don't know with one of my clients who's on the call right now is a husband and wife. Sometimes husband and wives are together or they came back together, but child support is still owed. Well, if she's willing, she can ask for that money to be waived and give him a credit for that amount that's owed. But I say, hold on before she does that, okay? Especially if some money is still owed to the mother of the other case, and they start taking money out of his bills, out of his paycheck, that means that they'll spread the money amongst the cases. And if you're amongst the cases, you'll get some of that money back into your home. Meaning that don't forgive it so quickly, because if, say for instance, you get a income tax refund check for the father, for the husband, and he had two women outside the marriage, but you are still owed some money from when you guys were together. And the money is owed, and every time they take money, they got to split it 3 ways. However, if you forgive the debt, then you're not going to get any money. And if that money is still owed to the mothers, they're going to get money. And I always say, hey, if anybody going to get some money, it should be my house is getting the money. So you might get some of that money returned, and that's a way of you actually getting more of their husband's money back in your house. We'll talk about that if that's something that you qualify for. Also, you want to create a monthly budget in many cases, in some cases, to show them the hardship that you're in. Because you can't pay your bills, they really don't care. However, you can kind of show them, hey, I'm on Social Security disability, I got a part-time job, my money that I get paid is only minimum wage, so I need this to be reduced because I have a financial hardship. And they sometimes have taken that into consideration. So when do you need to resolve the issue? Well, you guys are on this call today, so you need to resolve this issue right away, okay? Sometimes guys do take their time on resolving the issue after waiting for so many years. You get accustomed to what's happening. Hey, I can't stop it. Yes, you can, especially if your income is low. Or if you change jobs, you might have a higher income. However, you still don't have to pay half of your income. Anytime a person getting 50% or more out of their check for child support, that tells me from experience that you qualify to get a modification or reduction for the arrears. In some cases, you can get some of this money forgiven. And I hope some of you guys qualify for that tonight. Now, when you file the motion to reduce the monthly arrears payments, you get the mother to waive the amount, and she'll put a letter together, or we have services where we create letters for you based on the information that you share with us. And we've had experience where the judge or the referee agrees to the letter because it'll be certified or basically notarized by the mother, okay, with our driver's license. So you can see that, hey, they gotta reduce the arrears payments, the money that's owed, because the mother has forgiven those arrears. Where do you need to go? You need to go to the front of the court. You need to follow the paperwork. You need to make sure you follow the process. And all the arrears, all of the motions, all of them have where you can follow the step-by-step of those motions. So we kind of show you with that. We got a service that we can provide for you if you get confused. It's a small investment, but we can actually help you with that as well. And contacting Friends of Fathers services so we can help you go through the motion form. Because when you do the motion form with us, which is a different service called a motion completion webinar. However, everything that we're doing tonight is going to be what you need to file the motion, okay? However, when you do the motion completion webinar, we do the role play. And I think I gave a sample of that in one of our calls. Real quick, I'll do that. This is where you become the judge on your case and we become you. Well, we can become you because we just done the plan of action. So we know what you're asking for. Based on that, now you're in a position to know how you're going to address the judge because we know how you're going to answer or ask the judge. Excuse me 1 second. Let me do this. Excuse me. So we'll know how you are thinking in reference to what you think is going to go through at the hearing. And we want those fears and concerns to come out in the role play through our coaching services. So when we flip the script, now I can pick up being the judge. You will be you. Of course, you can be you because you are you. You know what you're asking for. And then I'll show you how to address the process of the judge. I have over 4,000 clients that been through this process. So I'm a good person to kind of do the coaching process on. So that's what we mean by role play. So here we go. I think I'm going backwards. There we go. Now, why do we need to take action to resolve the issue? Some of us are getting their taxes income, refund checks being intercepted. They going into our bank account, freezing it, or they get bench warrants on our cases, or they take up to 50% of our taxes, or if your credit report is damaged by 50 to 100 points below that what your credit score could be. It's a passport is taken. You can't even go out on a passport trip that you need your passport for. In today's society, we all need our passport. So it's a number of different things and all the other reasons why you have mentioned to us before as well. It could be due to your income, your current income, because arrears payments are so high, it has become a financial hardship. So it's a number of different things. Well, how are you going to resolve the issue? Well, that's what we're going to do tonight. First of all, you're going to contact friends and father. We're already doing that. And we're going to talk about following the appropriate motion. Okay. When you do this, you'll be in position of reducing your monthly arrears payments, probably eliminating some of your arrears. And that's what I really, really want to do for all of us who can go through that today. Okay. So let me stop that part and let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. So I'm going to bring up some information. First of all, I'm going to grab your case information because I have that. And this is going to help me help you guys be precise in the information that you share with us. And I'm going to show you one thing I do want to talk to the vice president this evening because I had a couple of you that was challenged with your time today. So what I'm going to do is make sure we address your issue. It's going to be recorded and it's going to send you out a replay. Okay. But you got to give me at least about a good 48 hours. I'm going to give you at least 5 days to review it. Okay. So step by step, everything I'm going through, if you have to leave the call, I'm going to be addressing your issues based on your most important questions that was returned. Okay. So that will really help a lot of you. Okay. So I don't want to rush this thing. This is so intricate. And I've been trying to help all this for a long time. And Mr. Mosette, I know you and I have been trying to deal with each other for some whiles. For some whiles. So I want to make sure you guys deal with this. There's documentation that you gotta have. I'm gonna show you a sample of what you're gonna get, okay? Even if you guys drop off right now, I'm still gonna provide the service. I'm gonna keep on recording because I know what I need to get done. So let me do this real quick. I wanna grab some information that, that is gonna be very important to you, very important. So let me say the arrears, there we go. Here it is right here. Okay. Because I did my homework now. I did my homework. I'm going to do one other one. Arrears. And I'm going to do jail time credit. Jail time credit. Yep, there we go. My man, Joe Farley on the deal. I love it. I love it. Okay. All y'all gonna appreciate this. Y'all gonna appreciate this. And then I have where you may owe the mother, arrears owing the mom. And sometimes arrears to the mother. Okay. All right, cool. I got you right there. And then one more. I think we have the mother and arrears is owed to the state. Okay, state. All right, there we go. That's it. So Farley's bad, boy. If nobody don't tell y'all that, I'm gonna tell you myself. I'm gonna tell you myself. Okay, and let me get this one here. There's one application. Okay, cool. So I got everything. Let me just pop this on the screen for you. Let me just pop this on the screen. Let's see. And you are very welcome, Ms. Bowman. You're very welcome. Let's see here. Now, share my screen. Let's see if I'm gonna unmute all. Ask you guys to unmute. Okay, you can unmute your call. Here, there we go. If I get feedback, I'll just ask you. The first question that I have here is that, has anyone done the forgiveness?
No.
Okay, okay. How about you, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Patrick?
No. Nope.
No.
Okay,
No.
okay, all right. Now, I'm not going to jump so quickly into that where you can, where you need to get it done, but through this steps, this is something that you can get, that you can request, okay? We're going to talk about that in just a moment.
That's what he mailed out to me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of cool, but Sean, we want to make sure that you, on your most important questions, I want to make sure how much money was owed to the mother and how much is owed to the state. Let me tell y'all something. Let me share something with you, what I found. Let me tell you what I found. This forgiveness will forgive, it says right here, if you owe child support arrears to the state of Michigan, you may be eligible to have some or all arrears discharged. When they mean discharge, man, that means closed out, no money's owed to the state. Okay, that means I'll have no more child support arrears. However, you can have arrears that's owed to the birthing expense, okay? And that becomes where they forgave the state, but they didn't forgive the birthing expense, or they forgave the state, but they didn't forgive the money that's owed to the mother. Okay, so we want to make sure that all of the monies that you can get forgiven, it is forgiven. Okay, but hey, if they knock off, let me just say it like this: if they knock off, you owe 50,000, and they knock everything off except 5,000, would you be happy? See, that's what I'm talking about. If they knock off this amount and you are able to reduce some of that money, would you be happy? Let me ask that question. Everybody can unmute and give me your answer on that.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yes. But
Absolutely.
let me share something with you though. Let me share something with you. If they forgive it, but you didn't fix the payment amount, if you didn't fix the amount of money that they take out of your check, you're still in the hole. You're still in the hole.
Right.
So that's a beautiful thing. Yes, thank you, mister. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Government. Thank you for taking off $40,000 in debt. I should be grateful. No. I need this money taken off and my monthly amount reduced. Okay? So that's the key thing, and that's what I'm going to help you guys address, all of it. Now, the next thing is this. There's a motion called 30. Okay. And all of us on the call, I believe we're all on Wayne County.
Mhm.
Oakland.
Oh, you Oakland? Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. No problem. We got Oakland, the same kind of situation here. We're just gonna change this right here. Look, this is one word. Change that one word.
Right.
It'll be Oakland. You can ask for the same thing. Take this off. Boom. You ask for the same thing. Okay. So we'll deal with that too. Now, if you now this one here is you're following, you're doing a motion saying reduce my monthly arrears payments. Okay. Reduce my monthly arrears payment. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Make sure everybody can see that. So monthly arrears payments, surcharges, remove the bench warrant if you haven't. If you don't, you cross that out. Okay, you just take that off. Reinstate my passport. Don't forget that. Reinstate my passport. Since y'all cleaned up the record, give my passport, because now with my new wife and my new life, I can go and go to Jamaica. Okay, so but you need a passport to go to Jamaica. So you want to ask for that while you're in front of it. Now we got something else in here, and I'll talk to you about that on another motion. However, what you're going to ask is FOC. I'm requesting FOC to remove the bench warrant on my case. I've been making payments on this case. And if you haven't made money on the case, hey, look, abracadabra, it's gone. It's gone. So you're still asking them to remove it, okay? Now, also, number 2, I'm requesting FOC to reduce my monthly arrears payments to $50 per month, being that I have another child support case. Some of us on the call have multiple cases. That's the reason. That's one reason. But again, guys, everyone, if you don't and you just got one case, you just saying this. Boom. I just want y'all to take this off of me and reduce the payments down to $50. And if $50 is too much, ask for $25. If $50 is not enough, tell them you want to do 100. I warn you, don't do that. Just ask for something that you can pay. Okay. If you want to pay 100, lock it in at $50. And if you want to pay more, pay more. But say, for instance, you got a bad month. You didn't feel well a lot of times that month and you couldn't go to work or whatever. You don't have that money. At least all you have to come up with is $50. Okay. Now, this one here, I'm requesting FOC to waive the surcharges. Remember, I told you we're going to come back to this. The surcharges from 2000 to 2005 in the amount of. In the amount of, guys, is come back to that payment history. Remember, I asked you to get it, the payment history. You got to get that payment history. If you don't get the payment history, you don't know what that amount is. So can you complete your motion? Yeah, you just say this. Boom, just take it out. There it is right there. I'm requesting FOC to waive all surcharges from 2000 to 2005. You don't know what the amount is. Let them look it up. As long as you know that you're asking legitimate. But the key thing is this right here. Being that I did not willfully avoid paying child support. If I was locked up, I didn't willfully avoid it. I was locked up. If I was unemployed, I didn't have any money. Okay. I didn't know I should have done what I needed to do. So you want to make sure you are doing these things. And that's why I'm leaving this information in here, because you have an option of critiquing this according to your situation. However, I'm gonna be a little bit more precise with money that's owed directly to the mother and that's owed to the state. We're gonna get there in just a moment. Remember, you're gonna get this recording, so you're gonna be able to go back over this, okay? The other one is I'm requesting FOC to waive the surcharges from 2005, okay, to 2009 in the amount of. If you don't know the amount of, you take that part off. Just erase that, okay? And again, being that I did not willfully avoid paying my support. And this is based off of MCL 552.603D. Please write that down, okay? And you got to make sure you attach it, because with this, The reason why this MCL is not up here when you go on before 2005, because that rule doesn't apply to 2005. Okay, let me just kind of show you this real quick. Let me copy this, and we're gonna cut this. We're gonna put this into the internet. Let me hide this screen here. See, the internet, Google is your friend. It is your friend if you know how to use Google. Okay, there it is, guys. There it is right here. Information. Read it for yourself. It's hot off the press. And I'm gonna make sure that you get a copy. See, it says here, these are the criteria that you have to meet. And one of the things is that these arrears did not arise from my conduct exclusively for the purpose of avoiding paying my child support. Did any of y'all try to duck and dodge on the front of the court? No. You know why? Because they got your social security number. Anytime you was working, they could have took your money. So you didn't necessarily avoid it. Now, if you did, that's on you if you want to tell, you know what, yeah, I avoided it. Don't give me that. No, I apologize. No, we ain't going that way. And you got to be fitting to this. The payer has no present ability and will not have ability in the foreseeable future to pay the arrears absent of a repayment plan that waives or discharge amounts assessed as surcharges. Okay, so what is a foreseeable future? The foreseeable future is that I see the future as far as I can see it. It's really as far as I can throw it. Okay, last year in 2000, in December of 2019, did we see this pandemic coming as a people? Heck, you know. And guess what? They shut down everything. They shut it down. Your job was shut down. The grocery stores were shut up at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. It was a curfew for nearly 2 months. They had us shut down. So that's kind of like a foreseeable future. So in a sense, you're telling, not in a sense, but you are telling the truth because you don't know the future. And the payer's plan is reasonable based on their current ability to pay. Now, remember what I was telling y'all earlier in that free informational session that you had? This information is what they talk. You got to talk how they talk. Hey, I want y'all to make this based on my ability, my current ability to pay. And my current ability to pay is right now, I got a part-time job, or I got a minimum wage job, or my job is this, or my job is that, or I don't have the income. Okay. So that's why you want to make sure that information in there. Okay. So you're going to get a copy of this document as well. Okay. So let's go back to this one here. This is another one, and some of us qualify for that. Okay. So if it's in Wayne County, if it's Oak County, Macomb County, Washtenaw County, Calhoun County, all you get my point. Any county, you want to make sure you put the county's name right here. And the plaintiff is the mother. Okay, so you put her name right here, and you put your case number right there, and you put the name of the judge. Now, the name of the judge may be different from the judge that you started with. So when you called into the front of the court at that 877-543-26, 877-543-2660, you want to make sure that you ask and call them back. Who's the judge on my case today? I got 3 cases. These are the case numbers. Who's the judge? Because I'm trying to file a motion. So you want to make sure. Now, this here motion is for my guys who've been having arrears, and they also have, we're trying to ask for a jail time credit. Okay. So you ask in front of the court, reduce the arrears due to the fact that the total amount due is not accurate child support arrears because of the surcharges and the child support fees during the time I was incarcerated. Okay, nobody know your time incarceration. Don't think, hey, y'all the state, y'all should look it up. No, you look it up and you find it and you provide the proof and attach it in your motion. Okay, This is requested and should be ordered. Let me tell y'all something about this, what I just said. This is requested and should be ordered. Does that sound like a question or I'm telling you something? Anybody? I'm telling you, that's right. This is how the motions are filed. You got to tell them. You don't ask them, man, can y'all, can y'all order, is it okay? No, 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 no. You asking them and you're going to give them the reason why. Here it is. Because I can never pay off the debt of the massive surcharges amounts that was charged to my case. And I have not willingly avoided paying my support and request a jail time credit in the amount. And you can tell them the amount of right here. And that's why you got to get that payment history. You got to get that payment history. If you get that payment history, then you'll know exactly why they should reduce the give you a credit in that amount. Okay. So, and then enter your time for incarceration. You can get that off your release paper. And if it's been some years, you can also go on the Michigan Correction pad or the website, or if you were in Pennsylvania, any prison, they, you know where you're locked up. Okay. You can go to their website and search the documentation for that information. And then you want to say, you want that total arrears, surcharges, and jail time credit to my child support case. And I would receive a total credit of this. Again, you're telling them, you want to do the work for the judge. As many of you know, I'm also a paralegal. I have to make sure when I do the research that I'm telling the judge based on the rules for the attorney. Okay, now here it is right here. This should be ordered because I have been incarcerated for the last or for these amount of years. It can be last or, from 2001 to 2009, okay? And the Michigan law explicitly states that the incarceration or release from incarceration for a term of blank, whatever your term is, you put it in there. Let me make sure I put a line there so you know. Term and review and modification of the support. And here is another one, guys, the Michigan compiled rule law. So you're not talking. You never want to talk. Okay. You want to make sure the rules are talking because that's what the judge and the referee go by. Now they might challenge you. They might challenge you. And here's how they can challenge you. The state statute further requires that the friend of the court initiate a review of my support 14 days after my incarceration. Well, they don't do that sometimes, or they do and you didn't know anything about it because you had an old address or whatever, okay? But you're supposed to let them know, as well as upon release for a sentence of more than 1 year. So if you spend time in prison, everybody know when you go to prison, you stay more than 1 year. But you can be in jail, in county jail, 2-3 years, holding as well. All of that time, you want to make sure you add it. So therefore, you're humbly requesting the friend of the court to reduce my monthly arrears, apply the jail time credit in the amount of blank, due to the fact that I did not willfully avoid paying the child support and would not have this balance if surcharges and charges applied to my case while I was incarcerated were removed. And then you just sign that puppy and you're done. That's the one that you want to do if you owe the arrears like you do. And we're going to ask some questions in just a moment too, for the ones that are still on the call. Now, here is one that I think I already discussed this one here. Yes, we did earlier over here. Yep, I did that one. So we're good on that. Bam. And now the money for the state, that was, I believe, the forgiveness here. But if you owe just the state only, let me show you. You just want to file a motion. It's called the 41. Let me just go to Wayne County. Go to Wayne County and go to forms, and it's the payment plan. And you just put in here payment plan. And when you start typing, it'll come up. Here it is right here, payment plan, motion for a payment plan. Now this one here has over 5 pages to fill out. And this is the form, and you're asking them for a payment plan of, whatever you can afford per month. Some guys say, man, they've been trying to get 500, so I'll get them 250 a month. But you're not paying 250 a month. So how can you pay for 250? Say what you can qualify to pay. Remember I was talking about $50? Put it down as low as $25 a month. Let them tell you, no, we want more than that. Let them tell you that. Let them tell you that. Okay. Never put yourself in a position where you locked into something that could be a challenge for you. Always talk about what you can pay. Okay. Not what you think they want to hear. It's time out for that. It's time out. You know how men do. We tell a woman what they want to hear. And we end up in trouble with the woman, even your wives. I know. I'm married. I understand. So we want to make sure you fill out the right ones. So with all that being said, those are the motions that you want to file to address your issue. Now, what I'm going to do at this time, I want to make sure, let me put this here and do escape on here, stop sharing. I want to come online. I know Mr. Yep, he had to take off. Now, here we go. He got back in. There we go. And I was looking for Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, let me start with you. What questions based on your situation that you have, based on what we talked about, does any of this meet your particular need? You got to unmute yourself. There you go. Yes, sir.
Are you asking, or
Yeah.
mine's cut off? I went out for a second.
Oh,
I
you
had to reconnect, so
Okay.
I didn't hear the question all the way.
Okay, good. Based on what we just shared and your purpose of actually doing the plan of action today, you have arrears that's owed to the mother and the state. Do you have that information?
Yeah, in one case, yeah, the state and the mother. Yep, on the
Okay.
Adams. Yeah.
Okay, let me just look at something here. Okay, here you go, right here. That's not what I want. Let me go here. You emailed your information to us too, right?
Yes, I have. Yep, I have the numbers right here. If that's what you're looking for.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Go ahead.
Like for the state, it's $34,437
Okay.
for the state. The mother is 24. Huh?
Okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The mother is $24,877.45.
Okay. So the state is owed 44, right?
34.
34,000, 3,400.
34,000.
And the mother's owed how much?
24,000.
Okay, good. All right. So that's why he sent that state forgiveness. Okay.
Right. Right.
So we know what they're going to do when you send off for the most important questions. Okay. But what's missing is the surcharges. Okay. What's the case number on your case?
See, that's what I'm waiting on. They didn't mail that information to me. He said he was, but I didn't. I haven't received it yet.
Okay, let me see. I thought you sent.
And these are old cases. I don't have these. My cases is like from the 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
And I don't have a lot of the dockets and none of that paperwork anymore. I don't know.
Okay. So when you called, that's what you didn't have access to all of that.
They're supposed to send it out. They're supposed to come with this arrears forgiveness program paperwork, but it didn't. So then when I called them Friday, their system was down. Everything was shut down for some reason. So I was trying to have it for today.
Right. Now, based on the information, it's okay because I already know what needs to be done. And based on what you're saying, there's some things that we can do as well. But I thought you sent us an email that.
See, I do have this particular case that I'm talking about. I'm not even the father. That's the case that I have never even met the lady. So,
Okay.
but
How
the
about
other
the
case,
is that in Wayne County?
yes, both of these are in Wayne County. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Did you go on the internet and find out? No, you didn't because you would have had the case number. Let's do this real quick.
I tried.
Okay.
I ain't that computer savvy. All that.
Look, your friend Joe Farley is in computer savvy today, Frank. You can see the
Okay,
screen
all
right
right.
now, right? Okay, yeah, you
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody, this is how you go into the case to find out those case numbers. It's a free website for the family court. Here we go. Let's go to it. Let me move this out the way here and make this larger. So you gotta put in the code. You say you did this?
Yeah, I got to that part and wouldn't give me no information. I don't know if I was doing something wrong.
Right. And your name is spelled D-U, right?
Yep, D-U-S-H-A-W-N. Yep.
S-H-W-N.
Yep.
That's right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, none of those were me. That's why. I think it was one of them dealing with like that. Let me see. It's so small. That progressive marathon one.
No. This is women's name. Let's look at the women's name. What's the mother's name? That you talking about that one ain't your child?
And it's Adams.
Adams. Okay. Yeah. And we don't see no Adam, right?
Nope.
All right. And then what's the other mother name on your case?
Donaldson, Tarisha Donaldson.
And she's not on here either, is she?
Yeah, see, I did all that, but see, that's funny that this Johnson Deshaun Progressive Marathon. That's me.
Yeah, that's this here is public court.
Oh,
website.
the records.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But let's do this. Let's go back and let's do the mother. Let's do the mother. Because see, it'll come up underneath the mother. Because see, your name is very unique. Okay, in the spelling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Adams is that first lady's name?
No, that's her last name. The first name would be Chanel. Chanel. First name Chanel.
Is that how you spell it?
I'm not sure how you.
Okay.
I didn't really. I think it's C.
Let me go here. Let me go here. Let me do this. Chanel. I told you Google is my
Chanel,
friend.
here you are.
Google my friend. We'll try that way first. Okay, we'll try that way. And maybe she spells her name a little different. And there you go. Right here. You see it?
I see. Well, I see the names. Why? My name is there, or how would I?
Oh yeah, they got your name right there.
Oh yeah, there you go. Now
they got you.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
Okay, now write that number down. This number right here, that first number. That's the case number.
Where is that?
I'll tell you what it is. It's 93. Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. 93.
Dash 36.
36.
32.
32.
34 DP.
34 DP.
Now, just to let y'all know, this here, and then write down her name. So we have the correct spelling. Okay. And Chanel. So, okay. Now, for everyone, this is public information. Public information. Okay. So the information is basically public. Now, any of these other cases? Nope, none of the other cases. But let's go into this case. Here we go. Taking a little time here. Okay, good. This was a complaint filed, paternity filed okay, it says sent process server successfully served. So they served it back in April of 1993. And somebody returned the service. Okay. Okay.
Okay, now it's coming back. At the time, that was my mom's boyfriend. He didn't tell us that he received paperwork. And I tried to fight this years ago. And they said that I was 6'2" and I weighed 250 pounds. I'm only 5'10". You don't shrink. And I've never been 250. So I done paid money out for services to get this off me. And it went nowhere. So I just took my tail and ran and went off the grid until I reached out to you. So
Okay. So pretty much I'm looking at all the activity. Miscellaneous motion occurred in 2009. Attorney, let me see if you had an attorney. These are pro se's. So I don't know who that attorney was. And this is why, guys, it's important to get this court information. Before you go to the fight, you want to make sure you're equipped right. Okay, before you go to the fight, you want to make sure you're equipped right. You don't come over here and be Wicked Mac with a stick. Okay, so that ain't gonna happen. So we don't know. And this case, like you said, is real old. So what needs to happen is that we need to request this proof up here. Proof of service. We want to go back up here because it says they received the return of service, meaning that someone got the mail or they got the document and they returned the service. But I don't see there's an answer. And then it was a default.
no,
So you know what default is, you ain't show up.
oh yeah, right.
So you never did show up on any of this on look like, then a default judgment came on you. Okay.
Right.
So all this what happened. So that's what's going on here. And yep, see, everything is, your whole world is being addressed and you're not there. And then there's a motion file here scheduled to set aside miscellaneous motion, and it was adjourned, another miscellaneous motion, and the hearing not heard. And then it was denied.
I think that's when I was upset and I was through with them because they had took like
you went to court, you mean?
I went back to court to try to get a blood test, I believe, and try to get this rectified, get it taken care of. And they came up with all these excuses. They said I need to come up with more money. They had already took like $2,500 from me. So
all right,
so
I'm gonna save this for you because you need this. And what happened is that, like you said, you went to the fight and realized that you had a stick in your hand and you left up out of there. You're like, this ain't happening. So, and on top of this with Chanel, so this is 93. Do you know her? Can you get in touch with her?
I have no idea.
Okay.
At that time, when I was going through this, her mom, they stated to me, because I was communicating with them, that I am not the father. They don't know how that happened.
Oh, but do you know anybody in that family that you?
No, I don't know. No, I don't even know nobody. That's been wow.
Because one thing for certain is that with this payment history, it's going to show how much money that you paid unwillfully or willfully out of your checks or anything. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you want to basically make sure that you file a motion to address this issue. Okay. You got to file a motion and you got to go through the whole process. Okay. So you don't have to necessarily, you don't have to, you got to get the documents like I said, the proof of everything, but you've been through this fight before and you left. So now we got to file a motion saying, hey, I'm not the father. I think that's on record.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, let me tell you, Mr. Johnson, we need to find out how much is for Adams. Is that the one that's owed 44,000?
34,000. The
34?
state 34 and the mother 24,000.
Oh, okay, all right. So, okay. So we need to find out by filing a motion requesting the mother to waive all arrears owed to her. And if she don't come to court, we ask the court to honor it. They're not going to do it, but they're going to mail her out this motion.
Right. Okay.
That's how she's going to get notification. You got to do that motion that way.
Right.
But you need some records too to prove your situation, that you're not, you haven't avoided it. Okay. So you got two motions. On the other case, this is your adult child, right?
Well, I had relations with the woman that was in doubt too. So, but I did have relations with her.
Right, right. But how much is owed to her?
On that one, 55, almost 56,000.
All to her or to the mother? Or to the state?
That's
or
to that's to the mother, and then they got medical for $7,313.06.
And do you know what that case number is?
Nope.
What's her name?
Terisha Donaldson.
Okay, so you want to look that up in that IRA, that register of action. So you just go to the website, like I said, the 3RD, look it up, and look it up under her name.
Okay.
But you're going to get all this information from what they're going to mail to you, the payment history.
So all the stuff you just looked up under Adam, that's what they would be sending me?
No, they're not going to send you that. They're going to send you better than that.
Okay.
They're going to give you the payment history, that what they charge you over the years.
Okay.
And it's going to break it down because you need to see the surcharges.
Okay.
And shortly, I'm going to show you guys shortly about these surcharges. I'm going to show you some things about that. Let me see a payment history. I'm going to show you guys a payment history of a person, unfortunately, who is deceased. Because that's going to help you guys understand. This is it here. Okay, let me just show this. And this is good for all of us, all of you guys to know it, because you're going to get this in the mail. So what I did, I hid his name, okay? So he had 2 cases. And let's go to the page where the surcharge. You see, these are the surcharges here. Y'all see that? That's $1,600 that was charged to his case in July '02. And January, another $1,600. The next year, in July, another $1,600. Next year, $1,600, $800, $1,000, $1,100. All of this money is part of those surcharges. That's monies that is charged on Mr. Bowman's case, your case, Patrick's case, everybody's case is dealing with arrears. That cases that are this one here is a 2004 case. That other one is a 1998 case. You see that right here, 1998. So they had a long time charging all the way to 2009. That's where Jennifer Granholm stopped having this automatically charged. Okay, so we asked for, you're going to ask for all this money to be waived. Remember, in this motion here, that's the surcharges right here in that green button. Okay, so
damn, he owed over 15 grand in just surcharges.
that's right. That's right. And that's the same thing in your case and everyone else's. So you don't know that this here thing here, right? I'm gonna put it in red. That's the one that you can ask for them to waive it. And this rules will allow you, if you meet the criteria, that you did not willfully avoid paying your support. So that's why you guys want to make sure that that's what you are asking for, so it can help you address the issue. Okay, so what we have just done, we kind of resolve the issue. However, with Mr. Deshaun, you have, to deal with this woman that you didn't have a relationship with, and you need to address the motion on this, because at one time you went to court. I don't know what you swore to or whatever you said. There's too much money owed to her that may be able to get waived. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
What?
I never went to court.
On Adams.
No, nope. I never went to court. I got arrested. Then I went to court. I never signed nothing or agreed to anything.
Oh, so you got arrested and then you're released. You ain't never go to court about the case. No, they got you on the bench for it.
I did go to court. So they put a bench. I never knew I had a child. I didn't even know nothing about this case.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Let me stop you. The question at hand, and don't do this in court. The question at hand is that, did you go to court on this case?
Yeah, after I got arrested. Yep.
After you got arrested. And did you ever come to court for filing a motion?
Yes.
Okay, so you went to court. Okay, so the reason why I stop you guys when you do what you just did, because you're giving me information about you. And that wasn't the question. So I got more information to work against. You know how the Miranda law, everything you use, you say can be used against you.
Used against you. Right.
And then y'all go in there and talk. You want to say, don't say nothing, man. Don't say nothing, because you still gonna get arrested. You still gonna go to jail. They still gonna put time on you. Why even try to explain? And these people, they're not here to help you. So that's what I coach you on. And I show you how you're a big guy. If you hit me, I'm gonna fall. Especially if I bothered you and your kids and your family. Okay, so my point is that when it's time to say what you need to say it when you need to say it. Don't give these people more information that they need. Don't give them too much. Right now, this ain't the time. This ain't the time to explain it. So, and I know it's tough, but I see it happen all the time when I go to court. So, cool. What we got to do is file that motion to ask for all this money to be forgiven. Okay. And you got to do the forgiveness. That's going to be quicker. However, we need to file that other motion, which is the one, it's a 40-30. Write that down, 40-30 motion. The reason why I say 40-30, because that's a blank motion. And you can write all that stuff that we talked about in those other motions that we talked about over, like right here. This information, you can write all this information in there. Okay, take out what you don't need.
Okay.
Now, so with that, I believe I've addressed. Do you have any questions?
You just answered, because I was going to ask you what was the number of that motion that I need to get.
Yep, 40-30. And you can get it right online and download it. You can download it and print it off. You got it. However, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you how to do our motion completion workshop class. And there is where we will make sure your whole motion is tight. It's tight. Okay. But like I said, you can go over this for 5 days and you'll be able to write it up yourself as well. Okay, because you're going to have everything. The 40-30 is the motion that you're going to need. Okay, so that motion is on, in your cases, all in Wayne County? Yes. Okay, cool. So you just go to the website at Wayne County and get that motion 40-30. However, fill out that motion, that application to forgive those arrears. And put both case numbers down there. And it depends on your job. Now, if you're making $20 an hour, if you're self-employed, you're self-employed. if you're self-employed, guys, you need to get out there and get a bridge card if you can. Because sometimes if you have had any prison time and you had a drug case, they stop giving you a bridge card. But they might give you Medicaid, and that still qualifies you to let them know I don't have no money. Okay. So now let me tell you also, after that 5 days, I'm going to come back and check on you guys. You might be interested in doing the motion completion webinar, and it's a fee for it, but I'll talk to you about that later because some of you don't need it. So let me go to Mr. Mojet, and if you got any other questions, go ahead and answer it, and we'll come back to you too, Mr. Johnson. All right, Mr. Patrick, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know me, Joe Mojet, he always explains, is it Mojet or Mojet? You know, the people in the neighborhood, which one is it?
Mojet.
Mojet.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So
I go ahead.
no. Basically, with the motion form that I shared with you for the jail time credit, how many cases do we have?
I got 3.
Okay. And for the children, were they minors when you went into jail? Or were
They
they
were still in school. They were still in school when I first start bidding. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is your time served? If you serve multiple times, you got to be able to tell them. Like, for instance, give me the first one.
I got all the paperwork. I got
Okay.
all my paperwork on the time that I served.
My man, there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
And you know, basically with the document that I share it with you, it says, here it is right here. You just plug it in.
Yeah.
You can put it right here on number 2 at the bottom and attach your proof.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if there's money that's owed to the state, and also if there's money that is owed to surcharges, like you pointed out on that guy I showed you. Yeah, you can all that you asked for that to be wiped out.
Yeah. Well, on my thing, I looked at my thing on the Michigan child support thing. I'm set up on there, and it said my birth expense is $1,603. Processing fee is $1,270. Service fee is $1,843, and then the child support I owe $206,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the key thing though about that, Jose, is this: how much is owed to the state?
Yeah.
And I think you did, right? Did you write that down? Let me see. Did you send that to me?
I sent it, but it didn't say how much was. All it said was how much was owed to child support.
Oh yeah, I wrote your email. My staff did, telling you to go back and call them to get the amount that's owed to the state.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you do that yet?
Well, I got it pulled up right now. My Michigan, Michigan child support, and my case, on my case information, it just says, it give me my total. Hold on, I'm opening it.
I'm gonna ask you to share your screen. You can share it to me.
Can I share it?
Yeah, on the green button at the bottom, say share screen. On the Zoom meeting on the camera.
Oh, hold on. Let me get back into the Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay, am I in?
No, it says screen share. It's green button. Screen share on the bottom.
Yeah, I hit that.
Okay, now
hold on.
And then push that blue button, share.
I don't see no blue button.
When you push
entire screen.
Yeah.
It's green on my screen.
Yep, it's green on your screen.
Yeah, it's green on mine, but I'm pushing it, but hold on. Then it got canceled. Hold on. So let me see, can I get back in it? It's saying entire screen windows. Yeah, for some reason it's not sharing.
Okay, that's fine. Let me go back here. I'll stop sharing right now. So I do hear what you're saying. I'm familiar with it. Now, it doesn't break it down though, in reference to what is owed to the state and what's owed to the mother. And that's what you need to find out.
Well, I did file a I filed a petition, yeah, forgiveness with the state. And they
When?
told me one time, huh?
When did you do that?
This was a couple years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. Yeah. And they told me I didn't owe the state nothing. But
man.
then I'm looking, huh?
No, go ahead, go ahead.
But then I'm looking on here, they got the processing fee, service fee, you know, birth expenses. But I did file that about 3 years ago, 3-4 years ago.
Okay. All right. So I know what I need to do. These motions that we talked about, based on the information you shared with us already on the most important questions, we have the information that you need. Okay. We have that. However, I need to do something for you. Okay. I gotta do something for you. I even told my staff that I was going to do this on your case after looking at your information. So I got to find out some information for you because I don't believe, now you can tell me, you said 3 women?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, far as you remember, as long as you can remember, were these, it was any time these women were on state assistance, ADC, back in the day?
Yeah, they was. The I don't think neither one of them was on it like a whole for a long time. I think my oldest daughter, her mother was on it for a little while. I know my youngest daughter, her mama wasn't on it that long. And then my son, I don't think his mom was on it for a long time.
Okay. So that's the distinction that we have to find out. Okay. And you said you did do the forgiveness. Did they give you any money off?
It don't look like it. I don't think they did.
Really?
I think they just said I didn't owe no more. Owe the state none.
Okay.
No,
Well,
you know what? I think they did give me some money off, if I remember correct. It wasn't a whole lot. It was a few thousand, though.
okay. Now, the other question on this too, Ms. Mozet, with your particular case, do you think that the mothers would be able or be willing to eliminate the amount of money that's owed to you?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, so we got to go to that plan with the 40-30. Okay, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper with you because you still need to ask them. You still need to ask them if you can get in touch with them, if you can get in touch with your children. Okay.
I've already asked them,
Okay.
and you know they already said no, you know. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why I'm kind of going this route now.
Okay, good. So we need to get it reduced because how much they're taking out of your paycheck now?
They take approximately I think it's approximately about $460 a month.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the hourly rate?
I get 18 an hour.
Okay. Okay, that's decent money too. So we got to find out how we can get it reduced. You can just ask for it. $50 for each case. $50 for each case. And we need to get the arrears eliminated. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, if I get the ribs eliminated, I'll be jumping
Oh,
for joy.
I'm sorry. Let's rephrase that. The surcharges, the surcharges, the
I'll
surcharges.
probably still be jumping for joy.
Oh
Shoot.
yeah, you would. But the key thing is that at least if you can get it down where it's manageable, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what we really need to get done too. And there's another certain way that we need to address it. It is to ask the mother to forgive the debt and the surcharges, and to reduce the monthly arrears payments and give me the jail time credit.
Yeah.
That's what you need right there.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, that's going to really address your whole issue with your case.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. You got three major things: eliminate the surcharges, give me the jail time credit, and reduce the monthly payments remaining to $25, $35, $50 if you want. But at least they won't be taking out 400.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, because these are adult children. How old are the children?
Yeah.
The oldest?
My oldest is 34, and then my other two are 31.
Okay. Yep. Yep. So basically, through your life situation, according to their rules, you may qualify for a modification towards these arrears payments, so that you can continue to be a benefit to our society, because you're out here working, and you're paying your taxes. So you
Yeah.
can request this and get it modified. You're not trying to dodge it, you're trying to address it.
No.
So
Yeah.
there you go. And that motion that I showed you is the motion for you, along with the jail time credit.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back in and pull that up probably in the morning and print it out and everything and start working on them.
Yeah.
So I
and-
gotta file motions. I need to file motion for all three of my cases, right?
That's correct. Because every
Okay.
one of them are different. You need to find out who's the judge on each one of those cases.
Okay, I think that tell me in my Michigan thing and the Michigan child support thing.
That's good. I'm glad you went on that. That's a very good system to go on, because it does.
Yeah,
tell-
yeah, I've been set up on it. Yeah,
Good, good. Because that's
when I want a headache, I just look at it and see how much money I'm giving out.
right about it. You are right about it. It causes you a headache. It will. Yeah, that's that My Case form program.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's let me just make sure. I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and just kind of show this here. That's this case here. That's this website, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And then you basically go into the home page, and then you can log in and sign in to your to that particular page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even that paperwork that you telling us to get is on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you don't have it, you can go, and this is the Michigan. So it don't matter if you're Oakland County, Wayne County, Macomb County, you apply, they sign up or log in, and you go there and you create your own account, and it's all your personal information, so you sign up or you log in. Okay. So it is something that everyone should do, and it gives you some information, but it doesn't give you everything, like that everything that I'm asking you guys to get, like what is owed to the mother and what's owed to the state. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're also going to get a recording of this. You guys got to give me at least 24, 48 hours so I can edit what I don't need to have on here, because there's some recordings on here like Eric Thomas, ET, that is private information. So it's copyright infringement. So I got to make sure my editor, he edits this properly for me, so I can get it
Yeah, I
done.
love me some ET.
Yes, sir. I got a meeting with him in 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm in a coaching.
If he ever speak in Detroit, let me know, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
for
make
sure.
a trip up there to hear him.
Yep, for sure, for sure. Where are you at?
I'm in Fort Wayne,
Oh,
Indiana.
yeah. Okay, yeah, you know he travels too over there. Okay, good, good.
Right. Well, he was just here. He was just here about a year and a half ago, and I didn't hear about it until late, and it was sold out.
Oh, yeah, it sells out right away, right away.
Yeah.
So that's good. So again, you're gonna get this recording and follow it to the T. If not, I'm going to show you in just a moment what it's going to cost you or your investment for us to do the motion with you. Okay. But let me go right here to Mr. Bowman. Is he back from work yet?
I'm still at work, so go on to the next one. I'll come back to you.
Oh, nope, you're the last one. So let me do this. I'm going to address some things that you guys already sent. Okay. That's going to make it easier for you. So
Great.
I can address the issues for you. And while I have everybody on the call, let me show you guys part of the presentation that needs to be shown to you. Let me make sure here.
Okay, I can talk now. I just finished.
Okay.
So I sent you everything.
Yeah.
Basically, I have most
Appreciate it.
issues like everybody else.
That's right. That's right. And so with that, what we're going to do, everything that I spoke about, I purposely spoke about it to address the child support motion everyone needs to complete. Okay, so I already did it. I'm just going to show it to you guys as well, because that's going to be very helpful. Let me just pull up something else for you guys. Three. And so with Mr. Bowman's case, we had a few things that you sent, which was good. Let me just grab it real quick. Thank you
Okay,
for
great.
sending that information. Okay. Oh. All right, now let's look at this here. And I'm gonna share this screen here with you. And this is how I got my information. Okay, Pat, that's good.
All right. Take care.
All right. And so I'm gonna share this information with you. Can you see that, Ms. Bowman?
Yep, yes, I can.
Okay, good job on breaking this down for me. Okay. We got what's owed to the mother, okay, and what's owed to the state. Let me see something here. I was kind of confused on here because you got 1, 2, is it 3 cases?
There's 3 cases, and they've been taking out money for the last year and a half
Mm-hmm.
to the tune of $365 per pay.
Yeah. Let me ask this question though. The money that's owed
Sure.
to the state, how much is that on each one of them?
Now that I don't know, because that website that you pulled up, I don't know about that.
Oh, no, no, no.
That website.
No, you don't. You can. I'll give you that website for certain. However, it's the questions that needed to be answered or asked when you contacted the 877-543-2660, and that
Those
question.
are, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So the question is, with the amount that is owed to the mother and the amount that's owed to the state.
Okay.
That was the breakdown that you need so that we can find out, because like this one here for 93,000, it says that's case number 2 for a mother. Okay.
Right.
And then it says state total 4,300. Okay.
That was based on a calculation. So I would have to have him call the state and find out what it is, because that's all those documents numbers are based on the information that I have.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Now, the real information that we really need is the information from, like, here's your breakdown here, okay? That's your pay stubs,
Okay.
okay? Which is, well, no, that's the,
No,
this is
that's just a
withholding
printout.
notice.
That should,
Yeah,
that's just a printout of how
Yeah.
much they're taking out of each check.
That's right, that's right. So we
Each,
did,
each month, right?
right, and they killing it, okay?
Yes.
The key thing here is I want to find out what is that amount. And there's a, hold on one second. There's a document that is called a state tax offset letter. State tax offset letter. When I looked at your information, I saw how much they're trying to take off of these cases. Okay.
All right.
And they're $300, you know, that they're trying to take every doggone month. And you done paid out over, he done paid over $1,800 last year
Uh-huh.
off of adult children.
I'm on the phone. Good night. Correct.
Yeah, and they asking for $200 on one case, so, and 300 something on the other case. Now, there's a letter that comes in the mail every September, guys, and everyone should be receiving one now or have received it. It's called the state tax offset letter. State tax offset letter. And there's something that you can receive, and they will break this information down.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm
So-
sorry, I lost you when I exited the building.
That's okay. You're still here. Let me show you this document that I want everyone to kind of look at. Let me show you this document. And if you look up this information, you'll find that it's going to be very helpful to you. You see this document here?
Yes, I do.
It's called a state tax offset letter, and it looks like this.
Okay. So
And
tell me what that, describe it to me. What
Yep.
is it?
it's a letter that really says TANF right here, and a
Uh-huh.
non-TANF. Non-TANF means the mother, TANF means the state. At the very bottom of this letter, it states that temporary assistance for needy families. That's ADC back in the day. That's
Okay.
okay. So that means this money at the top on this case is owed
Uh-huh.
to the state.
Ah, okay,
And
that's where I
this
got
one-
the numbers from.
Yeah. So you got a paper like this?
Yes, that's where I got my numbers from.
Oh, that paper, you send that paper to me. That's the paper I'd love to see. That's going to help me out.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll do that when I get home.
Yep, send that paper to me. And again, everything that we talked about is already in this motion that I've already done for you based on the information. So I was speaking towards what needs to be done. However,
Okay.
there's one thing. Did your husband do, let me see, did he do, I know he didn't do that one. Okay. Did he do the forgiveness? The discharge?
No.
Oh, he did
No,
not?
he did not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So I don't want him to do it quite yet. That's why I asked you guys to do the payment history so we can find out the answer to this question here. How much is owed to the state and how much is owed to the mother?
Got it.
And
Okay.
that will help us to determine which way you need to go to address your issues based on what has happened in the past for majority of our fathers. So that's what we need to do. Okay, look for this letter, send that letter to me. It'll have all three of the cases on here, and that way I will better understand everything. And if that is the case, what's going to happen is this: we're going to do a different motion, a payment plan for $25 a month for 24 months if it's all owed to the state. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what we need to do to address your particular issues for Mr. Bowman.
All right. Thank you. And I greatly appreciate you because They asked me to stay over, and I completely forgot about this. I'm like, no.
Right. So, but everything worked out fine. I was able to really address your issues all up front, and I have on the screen all of the documentation of the motions that need to be filled out. And this most likely will be the one here. You probably can't see you driving it, but this is a recording, so you'll have this document, all of these documents. So you'll have it all.
Okay.
But before
Okay, great.
anything, just make sure you get me that letter that shows that information for that state tax offset letter.
Okay, I will.
Okay?
I'll do it tonight before I go to bed. And I'll have him call the friend of the court tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, and ask what is owed to the state and what's owed to the mother.
Okay, I'll have him write it all. I'll write it all down for him. So you can ask some questions and write it down for me.
Yep, that's good. And then you guys, you just give me that in the email, and we'll be all set. But let me share this with you guys. With our motion completion workshop, okay, this is where the motion is going to be. The motion completion workshop is where we basically can walk through what motions are needing to be completed, the information that's going to be on that motion, okay? And therefore, now you'll know exactly what your next steps will be to address that particular issue and how to complete the motion. That's the most important thing. Is now that you have the information, you can do it on your own. However, we don't leave you. We're still here to provide services for you. So we are here to provide that information. So therefore, you can know exactly what needs to be done to address how to fill that motion form out. And of course, we have a fee for it. But again, that's most important, is to know how to do it. Because a lot of people know what to do, but they don't follow all the way through with it. And that's what we help you to do, so that you can complete it. You got to get it completed. I prefer that we help guys and gals on how to complete the information. That's what's going to really help you address the issue. So right now, I'm going to show on my screen what the value of it is and what discounts you guys are going to get for doing it if you decide you want to do this. The next step is so that you can have us walk through this at a time that's scheduled. And these are the different motions that you need to fill out if you fit it. So if you got child support modification, this is the motion form that you have. You get a discounted rate. If this arrears is owed only to the state, I mean, it costs over almost nearly $1,000. We do it for $494, $97. If it's arrears is owed to the mother, it is $597. But because you guys attended this, we give it to you for $397. If it's parenting time, it's $497 or $297. And it comes with a parenting time plan of action, but none of you don't fit that category. So really, the area that you do fit, it is the one that is for $397 for that motion. Now we charge, if we were to do this one-to-one, $597. However, the motions that most men need are the same, except the gentlemen that have a arrears that's owed for a child that's not his. That's a total different motion when it comes to what is owed to the mother and what's owed to the state. So he'll pay that $397, then he pay another fee of the $397 for a different type of motion, okay? Because arrears motions could vary, okay? However, when you complete this review within 5 days, this is your discounted rates that is available for you so that you can actually receive the discounted rate at this. And we schedule those meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays evenings where we actually do that. And it's recorded. So if you miss some of it, you will be able to do a replay for 5 days as well. So I make it very, very easy for everyone to be able to complete their task and address the issue. So with that, I want to make sure that you get that information back to me, all that need to get the information back to me. Please send that information so we can move on. And within 24 to 40 hours, you're going to get a replay of this. So with that, I bid everybody good night. Miss Bowman, do you have any questions for me?
No, that is the time.
Okay, great. Mr. Johnson, any questions?
No, but I think I can take it from here and start getting on it tomorrow. And if I do, I can reach out to you.
Oh, by all means, please do. And let me tell you guys, I don't care if you financially don't want to move to the next stage, give me a call, okay? We will probably work something out with you. But again, that's why I'm doing this video. So this is your homework that you have in front of you that you can play for 24 hours for 5 days. You'll be able to get it. But if you can't, we're not going to leave you. We're here. That's what our model is about, strengthening fathers and empowering, or strengthening men, empowering fathers. And that's what Joe Farley is all about. So I want to thank you guys and have a blessed and safe night.
Yep, you too. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.